Hey there, Ívar here at the Ívar's Fly Workshop. Today we are going to tie a fly which is called Zelda. Zelda is actually a salmon fly, but I decided to try to make like a nymph or some like a nymph version of it this spring, and it came out really well. The author of the Zelda is Kjartan Antonsson, who is a friend of mine. Actually, I and Kjartan used to work together back in the days, like 10 years back or so. And Kjartan is a really experienced, very well experienced fisherman and a hunter, and he knows lots of information about fly fishing and fly tying. So we'll just start like I did, just attach the attach the thread to the hook shank and do the back and forward. Now what I'm doing is attaching like feather sticks from brown rooster feathers. We'll place like a 4 of those spears outside of the end of the fly, like on the rear end. Almost like the Frances fly, same idea, kind of. And you have to make sure they are kind of like in place where I want them. It's sometimes you have to go back a few reps and tune the feather in. And you just simply wrap it with a few strokes, few reps, like 3 or 4 reps on each. And then when you have attached all of the feathers, just lightly, then you will do it like much harder. And you'll like really get them stuck and sew them down to the hook shank. I just place 3 of those spears in the back. So when you're done with that, you have to trim off the ends of it. Beware of that, to not cut the thread. Then again, you'll have to wrap the hook shank again, and now we'll go to the end of the fly. And at the end of the fly, the Zelda fly has a hot spot. It's made either out of an orange globrite or green globrite, red globrite, or even pink globrite. The orange and pink gave me ridiculous catch this summer. I'm not kidding. The fly had been just in the water for, I don't know, few seconds. Even without stripping it in or pulling it in or doing anything, the fish took it. So it is a really good pattern that Kjartan stumbled upon. I think he was working as a guide in one of the salmon rivers here when he came up with this fly. He used it as a secret weapon and came to finally, a few years back, and made it public. Now we will wrap the globrite around the rear end of the fly to create the hotspot. I don't know what's with hotspots in flies. Personally, I love hotspots in flies because there is something with flies that have hotspots in them, and I believe they drag attention of the fish to it, and yeah, those flies I've designed myself, which we'll definitely tie and do a video about, most of them, they have a hotspot in them. Like the one which I have, which is called galdraflugan, that has a hotspot. That's a really effective fly when it comes to Arctic char fishing. But now we've attached the hotspot, as you see, and we will just carry on building up the body. I'm using you can use either floss or some black material that kind of shines on. I'm using a black stretch floss, so-called. I think it's from Uni. It stretches a little bit, but it's really nice material to work with, and it's thin enough to kind of be in a good control of the thickness of the body. I find that important when you are tying the fly. Now we'll just, as you see, I'm just wrapping it around the body, covering all the parts in like front of the middle of the body. And as you see, we have to go back to get the body kind of even. We don't want the body to be like, well, we want the body to be as even as possible. And that's why we are doing this. Going a little bit back and forth with that stuff. And then we will lock it down with our thread with 3 or 4 like firm wraps. Trim off the end of the stretch floss, and then make the head of the fly. It's okay to turn the bead around, because the bead sometimes, when you are working with a fly, the bead doesn't want to, it does not sit where you want it to sit, and the material goes some other side of it and stuff. So it's totally okay to turn the bead around to try to get it in place. Now the fly is almost finished. We just have to do a whip finish on it and trim the thread off here. Just cut it very up close to the knot. And the very last step of the fly is simply to put on some varnish on the head. And actually, you can put like a UV resin on the fly, like a clear coat of UV resin, so it kind of shines. I tried that, and that worked very well out. But this fly which we have here in the vise, we will just place one round of like a head cement or like a clear varnish. So now the fly is ready, and I thank you so much for watching. Keeping up with the channel, please subscribe and like the video, and share the video if you want, all around the internet. Thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video.